Okay, time for a little voter bashing. I'm in that kind of mood, reading stupid stuff I see. Folks, everything you see is Obama, Obama, Obama. Everybody's blaming Obama for, all that's wrong and for all the illegal actions he's taking. I want to know why you give so much authority to the president. It tells me you don't understand how America was designed to work. The president is not the most powerful man in the country. Your Congress is. Congress has the most power in the country. If Obama's doing something illegal, if George Bush did something illegal, if Clinton's did something illegal, Ford, Nixon, any of the rest of them, it is up to Congress to bring that forward. It is up to Congress to have them arrested and removed from office. It is up to Congress to charge them with treason. Congress is your representative in government. Congress is there to ensure that the federal government operates within the confines of the Constitution. They have not. They do not. They will not. They haven't yet. They have failed in all regards. They failed in the past, they fail in the present, and they'll fail in the future. You got to get it through your heads where the fault lies. Obama is nothing but a puppet, just a piece of shit puppet, just like Bush was and Clinton was and all the rest of them were. Congress can fix that, but they don't, do they? And they won't. So I'm going to read you a little bit of what your government has done to you. And it comes from the Mandamus Subversion, which I posted once a while back, and I was shocked how little interest there was in it. Probably because you had to read. So I'm going to read it to you. And I'm just going to read the executive order part, even though the rest of it is very interesting as well, and condemning and educational. It's a legal document filed in all federal district courts and to all sheriffs, and was completely ignored. And it's a legal document. It is due process of law, and it is and has been completely ignored. Worse, not only was it ignored by government, but worse, it's ignored by we the people. If we the people would force this, it would be upheld. Your problems would be fixed. Guarantee it. But you don't care. Nobody seems to care. So maybe you'll care when I get done telling you what President Obama has done to you and your Congress has allowed, and your sheriffs have allowed, and your mayors and your governors and your police have allowed, and the FBI has allowed. Okay? Nobody has stood up and arrested these sons of bitches, and they should have. All these start out the administration under the color of law, and under the color of law just means under the guise of law. They appear to be lawful even though they are not. They totally violate the Constitution and all constitutional law in this country, which just proves again you don't have a Constitution, and you don't. The administration under color of law has prepared for the removal of all property rights. Executive Order 1933. The administration under color of law has prepared martial law. Executive Order 100. Has prepared for the seizure of all communications media in the U.S., Executive Order 10995. Prepared for the seizure of all electric power, fuels, minerals, both public and private, Executive Order 10997. Prepared for the seizure of all food supplies, resources, both public and private, all farms and equipment, including what people are storing for emergencies, Executive Order 10997. Prepared for the seizure of all means of transportation, including cars, trucks, vehicles of any kind, and total control over all highways, seaports, and waterways, Executive Order 10999. Prepared for the seizure of American people. No, I didn't read that right. I'm just kidding. The administration, under the color of law, has prepared for the seizure of the American people for workforces under federal supervision, including splitting up of families if the government so desires. Executive Order 11000. Now you know I'm full of shit, because your government wouldn't do that to you. I mean, not even Obama would do that to you. And if Obama would, your Congress would never allow that to happen. And even if your Congress would, your federal marshals and the FBI and the sheriffs would never let that happen, right? And if they would, then, oh shit, who's left to help us? Us. We let it happen. And we're letting it happen. Right there it is. Executive Order 11000. Prepared for the seizure of all health, education, and welfare facilities, both public and private. Executive Order 11001. Prepared the powers of the Postmaster General to register every single person in the U.S. Executive Order 11002. Prepared for the seizure of all airports and aircraft. Executive Order 11003. Prepared for the seizure of all housing and finances, and authority to establish forced relocation, authority to designate areas to be abandoned as unsafe, establish new locations for populations, relocate communities, and build new housing with public funds. Executive Order 11004. Prepared for the seizure of all railroads, inland waterways, storage facilities, both public and private. Executive Order 11005. Yeah, this is real, folks. It's real. Look it up. You can look it up on a government website. Look it up. The administration, under the color of law, has given FEMA complete authorization to put the above said orders into effect in times of increased international tension or economic or financial crisis in any case of any declared national emergency. Executive Order 11051. Folks, your president has issued those executive orders. Your Congress has allowed him to do so. Think about that. But you're still going to vote for Trump, Cruz, Jeb Bush, one of these other assholes? Has any of them mentioned this to you? Has any of them mentioned the National Defense Authorization Act, which helps give this power? Has any of them mentioned the Patriot Act, which helps give this power? They have not, and they will not. They're going to divert your attention to illegal immigration, jobs, terrorism, and foreign policy, just like they always do. And you know what? You are going to fall for it. And the first son of a bitch that says, I'm going to build a fence and we're going to keep them damn Mexicans out, is going to, the ignorant people are going to cheer, just like you always do. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, this is what's been done to you. Wake the fuck up.